Hey friends, welcome back. This is episode 162, and we are talking about three little words: should, could, and need. They all sound so innocent, and they are a large part of our vocabulary. People like, I should be doing this, she should do that. They, should. It's a regular part of our vocabulary. But here is, because we talk about our thoughts create our emotions, right? A lot in here. And sometimes words create emotions. That doesn't even have to be a full sentence. Like, it doesn't matter. So should, her twin sister is shame. So anytime should comes into a sentence where I should do this, the emotion of shame is going to come along for the ride. When we should other people, we are also shaming them, right? Because shame is just always coming along for the ride, no matter what. So I really I don't like the emotion of shame. I experience it a lot, but I don't like it. So I have just made a decision knowing that the twin sisters are always going to come together to not use should in my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then need. I need to do this. She needs to do that, right? There's pressure that comes along with it. It's not as clean cut as should. Like should is just like shame is always coming along with it. I haven't seen a strong correlation between one emotion and need, but I also know like need, pressure, urgency. I don't know. What does need stir up in you, Carmen?
So need comes with guilt.
Oh.
So it's this, yeah. So it is this urgency and this pressure, but it's also a little bit of guilt for me if I say, "Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I should." I it comes up with if I don't do those things that I need to be doing, I feel it's a guilt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is interesting. Because I also know, like, if we think of need, right, and we like go into like what does need actually mean?
Yeah.
Need is like a life or death thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need food to survive. That's factual, right? I need water to survive. I need shelter to survive. So my hypothesis is that need, the reason it creates pressure and urgency is because it triggers the primal brain that this is a life or death situation.
Mm. Yeah.
Right? Like I need to put new posts up. Well, we're speaking to that primal brain like this is life or death. If we don't put these posts up, like the whole business is going to fall apart. Then I'm not going to ever make money, right?
Yeah.
And it's like so kind of getting clear and clean on like need, like this is a want,
Right.
this isn't a need,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
If need has to do with uh things that are directly related to our survival, then yeah, those are all extraneous, yeah, um, needs, if you will.
Mm. Yeah, so I think it's just being more conscious of like when like what we're articulating, like I need to go to the store. Do you? Do you need to go to? I want to go to the store. I desire to go to the store. Like I want you guys, like even you, Carmen, right now. Like I'm gonna repeat the sentences, and I want you to feel how they land in your body. Okay, listeners, you too. I need to go to the store. I desire to go to the store.
Mm.
What is the difference?
So need is very much this, I mean, it is that pressure, right? Desire makes it sound, um, makes it sound like fun, makes it sound like fun, like, oh, yeah, I could do that. That could be a fun trip. I would probably enjoy going to the store if it was something I desired, right? Versus like, oh, I need to go. I automatic it. This is me. I'm automatically like putting up shields of like, oh, I really don't want to go.
Yeah, it creates heaviness and resistance,
Yeah,
right? Versus I desire, it feels lighter.
much more. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one that I discovered this week, and this is like not blanketed, because I think this word, some people, I'll just could. Okay. I could do that. I could work 40 hours this week. I could also go take care of my mom. I could, right? Like it feels like an optional word. Like it's just like explaining all the options. I could do all these things.
Yeah.
Right. But what I found coaching a lady this week is like she kept saying it. And like what I keyed into, like, how like could creates guilt for her.
Oh, okay.
Like I could take care of my mom more.
Yeah.
And guilt is coming along for that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
How does could land for you?
Um, so I have a So I'm thinking of phrases in my head now. Oh, with could, because in general, I probably use could a lot more in place of should, because uh I know how negative should is for me in that like judgment that like should, and so I've often replaced should with could in my vocabulary. And it may not necessarily be a better replacement. Um, so they kind of sit similarly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason why I replaced it is because in my mind I thought, oh, could is a little bit less judgmental,
Mhm.
right? To myself of like, oh, yeah, I could do those things. I try to keep it very open-ended so I don't get the guilt associated with it. Yeah. Um, but it's not it turns out it's not a better.
Yeah, like for me,
So, yeah,
could for me is associated with options,
right.
right? And options equal freedom for me. So could doesn't really like I could do all these things. My brain's neural pathway is options, right? Some people, it's like, well, I already have to take the kids to school. I have to do these things, right? But I guess I could make an extra batch of cookies for my kids' class tomorrow.
Hmm.
And then the guilt comes along for the ride. Just like, well, I mean, like I could stay up till midnight and make this, right? I could squeeze this in, right? And it's like guilt is coming along for the ride in that context. So what I offered in her coaching was like, what if it was like you dropped could completely, and we used the word choose.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is one of the choices I have. If I chose to take care of my mom more, that is an option. Or I could choose not to. Could kind of snuck in there, but we had to like choose in there, like putting the power back of like could and overextending ourselves, which equals guilt, like capability, like I'm capable of doing this, versus could as an option for some people, right? So then we have to just plug in the choice.
I see. Yeah. So it's a little bit more tangible and not as open-ended, right?
Yeah, like I could, in the reality of things, right? If I wanted to make more revenue, I could prostitute. It is like it's an option, right? I could, right, start, I don't know, stripping. I could sell meth. Like, yeah, they're all options, but I'm not going to choose those things, right? Like, so that's why I like choice, because it comes back to my power.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, I'm choosing not to do that. I'm choosing to do this.
Right. It definitely takes the guilt out of it, I think. Yeah. When you reframe it that way, because then you totally, you take that control back, and that I am getting to choose what makes sense to me. Instead of like, okay, well, so I have a day off today and I could do X, Y, and Z. Whether I want to or whether I choose to is a completely different path here. Yeah.
Yeah. Which relates back to our last episode. Like, yeah, you could at the expense of you and the expense of your relationship with you, versus like being intentional. Like, I choose to do this. I'm choosing it or I'm not choosing it. I'm not sacrificing me because I have the capability of doing this.
Right. Yeah. That feels much better. And it doesn't have that like excess weight on it. Yeah, that we don't really need. Yeah. It
So do
also
you have like an example in your life, like where right now where it's like, I know you don't, you should, but like where it's like, I could or I need to, and like being able to give us that example and then rewording it and then putting more powerful words in and like telling us like the difference it makes you feel.
Sure. So I am currently struggling with my calendar
Okay.
because I have a lot of commitments, right?
Mhm.
I have a lot of commitments and I want to show up well for those commitments. So I look at my calendar and I'm like, well, there are some appointments that I need to make. I need to put them on the calendar, right?
You
Because
need.
this is what I've told myself. I need to
Okay.
put them on the calendar. Um, and I look at my week next week is a little bit lighter. So I'm thinking, oh, I could put them uh on a day that I already have a commitment, but my commitment isn't until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes an hour and a half to travel there. So I could fill up my calendar until about 3, and then I
Okay.
still have time to leave and get there. Okay.
Okay.
Um, that puts a lot of pressure on me. When I look at my calendar, I'm like, okay, um, is that a good choice for me? And I am choosing to spread out those appointments. So instead of trying to stack everybody in one day, and push my appointment, so I'm working from 9 o'clock and 8 in the morning until I won't get home until 9 o'clock at night, and making that a 12-hour day for myself, that I can add a couple more on like Monday, and I will normally, I'm off on Thursdays, but I'm going to add 2 appointments on Thursdays so I can spread that out and be a little bit nicer to myself. So I'm not working a 12-hour day. Yeah. And then making it challenging for me to show up on Wednesday for patients.
Okay. So you kind of problem solve through it, but like I want to like go back to like I have these appointments I need to put on my calendar.
Oh, yes.
I want to put these appointments on my calendar.
Yes.
Where do I choose to put them on my calendar? This in best interest of me and them. What would your calendar look like from that standpoint?
Uh, you mean with each one of those, with each one of those?
That you're wanting, then we don't no longer need to put on our calendar. We want to. And where are we choosing to put them on there next week?
So, so I want uh to spread them out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because don't I don't want to work a 12-hour day.
Yep.
Don't want to. Yeah.
Okay.
Um and so I want to spread them out.
Okay.
Um I am choosing, this one's a little bit tricky because I feel like I'm choosing to work an extra day that I don't normally work in order to spread out those appointments.
Do you want that to be your choice?
Uh,
Yep.
Technically, no, I don't want
Okay.
that to be my choice.
Okay. Awesome.
I
Okay.
would choose to move some of them to the following week,
Okay.
in order to keep my schedule manageable,
Okay.
is what I would choose to do.
Okay. Why are you choosing not to do that?
Um, so I'm choosing not to do that because I feel guilty of not seeing them in a timely manner. Right? Yeah. Now, that definition of a timely manner is probably totally on me. Um, Pushing
Yes.
their appointment out 1 week is not going to make or break their situation.
And is it going to impact their health negatively?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
probably.
you're just sorry, you're getting like live coaching, but I think it's helpful for people, right? So you're choosing to avoid the feeling of guilt by sacrificing yourself.
Yes.
So we're choosing to avoid a negative emotion that we could feel temporarily to feel more negative emotions on Thursday because we've sacrificed ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. Do you still want to make that choice?
No. No. Because I would prefer, so I'm going to interject or interchange choice with compromise,
Okay.
because oftentimes I feel like I'm compromising situations.
Okay.
Moving appointments to Thursday when I normally am off on Thursday is a compromise. So if I make the choice to move them the following week, I don't have to compromise and be frustrated Thursday and then try to, because that when I take appointments on Thursday, it's still going to be a full day because I'm still like now I'm stacking on top of my admin stuff, So um it does feel better to actually like recognize it's not a compromise, it's a choice. And I've been interchanging compromise with choice. Yeah.
So is there resistance around scheduling these people spread out next week and pulling some of them over into the next week so you can have Thursday off?
No, I can do that. That feels much better.
Okay.
Feels much lighter, and then I'm not like frustrated uh with the lack of time. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, that's easy. I'm just
So like that's just like it's a great example for people to see like how just little words like should and could and need, right? And for you compromise, how they are creating negative emotions for us, shame and guilt and pressure and urgency. And just by intentionally dropping those words and picking up more powerful, empowering words, changes the whole perspective and changes the whole emotional experience.
yeah. It does. And I mean, in the big scheme of things, I don't know, we don't always recognize that, right? That those like they're words within our vocabulary and we know the power of words, right? And the power of our thoughts and emotions. But by themselves, they seem very benign, right?
Right.
They're just three little words. Um, but you're right. Has the influence and the weight to change our emotions and change our perspective on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for being vulnerable, Carmen.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I got for you guys today. So, anything else?
I think that's perfect. No, thank
All
you.
right. You guys have a great day.
Bye.